If you undergo surgery, say, for example, a heart operation, you definitely will have one very important request. The doctor has to know what he's doing. He has to have a lot of experience. You wouldn't even want to have your car repaired by a beginner, let alone your internal organs. But there is a first time for everyone, even a surgeon. He or she can study books, watch their boss a lot, but still at some point they have to operate for the first time. It's great if it's not you on the operating table, but, well, see for yourself.
The operation will begin in just a few minutes. The patient is already on the table. Stefan Störk dons a coat lined with lead as protection from X-ray radiation. After making an incision in an artery, the young surgeon will be inserting a thin plastic tube into this patient's heart to see if everything is as it should be. The procedure is common but dangerous, and Störk has only been performing it for 6 weeks.
From the very beginning, since I arrived here, I felt extremely confident throughout the entire procedure. That's because you're performing a task that you've been able to practice intensively beforehand. And because you're in the company of an experienced colleague who's watching you and guiding you with a sure hand.
The young surgeon has spent a lot of time at the Intus in Würzburg, a new training and simulation center for doctors that is unique in Germany. The simulator has given Störk the chance to practice under the guidance of an experienced cardiologist, Wolfram Völker, who is also the head of the Intus facility. With Intus, a surgeon can learn an operation step by step. First, aided by a guide wire, the surgeon must thread the catheter into the groin of the simulator dummy.
Tief einatmen bitte, nicht atmen und Schuss.
Just like in a real operation, the X-rays allow the surgeon in training to view the coronary vessels. Inserting a catheter takes a steady hand. The blood vessels can easily be damaged.
Surgery today has become increasingly difficult. Patients are getting older, which means the risk of surgery is growing with those patients. To achieve the highest success rate with the least amount of risk, doctors have to be optimally prepared. And for that, they desperately need solid, concentrated training.
That's especially true in emergency situations. The patient in the second cardiac catheter simulation is experiencing severe pain. That puts Störk under more strain. The major advantage of the new technology is that mistakes don't have deadly consequences. If something goes wrong, the surgeon learning a technique can hit the rewind button. The second attempt is successful. The balloon in the catheter expands as it should, opening the blocked artery. A patient that can't die. Is simulating surgery really just a new kind of computer game?
We don't see it as a computer game at all. It's an aspect of training. Of course, the simulation that we have is an important element of that, but just as important is the doctor in charge of the training standing next to the surgeon who is practicing. He can use the simulation to make his message more succinctly. We don't think it makes sense to let surgeons who are learning to practice alone in these simulators.
And in the future, it will not just be cardiologists who will practice techniques here. For example, ear, nose and throat doctors will also be able to practice lung examinations. In all, there are plans to expand the number of simulators to accommodate surgeons in 20 different fields, with the simulations as realistic as possible. Back in the real world, the operation is underway. Under the watchful eyes of his teacher, Stefan Störk takes over. He's well prepared.
The technical aspects, the various elements, wires, balloons, that's all very similar. That's what the simulator can teach you. But the situation in real life is actually very different.
Even so, the virtual practice serves the young doctor well. The pressure can be relieved. The operation goes smoothly. The training was worth it. Perhaps sweetest of all, a little bit of hard-earned recognition. Simulations are all very well for would-be surgeons, but they'll still have to practice their bedside manner in the real world.